What's going on, good people? It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless, and I'm back with another video. Hope everybody enjoying the MLK Day. Once again, man, we back with another video, and we're gonna get straight to the commentary today, this evening rather. Fake Black Panther group trying to bait FBAs to fight against ICE. Man, can you believe this here? We all are aware of the situation that's been going on in Minnesota, most recently, and across the nation, for that matter. But we know violent protests have really been taking effect in Minnesota, and it's mainly due to the loss of young lady Nicole, um, Renee Nicole Good. Rest in peace to her. But when that situation happened between her and ICE, people had took it to the streets to protest, which you do have the right to peacefully protest, but the protests have become very violent. People have gotten together and stormed uh, different hotels looking for ICE agents. You have people that have um, destroyed property, actually destroyed an FBI car and took in assault rifles out of it. And most recently, we have had uh, a man come out here posing to be a Black Panther and saying that the Black Panther Party is starting to take up for these illegal immigrants and also protesting to make sure that ICE is doing their job. And if you know anything about the Black Panther Party, this sounds insane. And when I first seen this, I knew that this was some type of grift or some type of cosplay. I mean, instantly I knew, and just knowing, my history of the Black Panther Party, they would not be getting involved in anything to do with illegal immigration. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, we got a lot to cover. So before we get to that, I definitely want to get this out of the way because we got a lot of commentary coming. And this is the disclaimer that I must share. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right, all right, all right. So we got that out the way. So yeah, man, it's just interesting to see because, and I have to be frank, I'm very impressed with the fact that foundational Black Americans, FBAs, have been staying out of the way for the most part. You mainly see white liberal women that are out here protesting and carrying on when it comes to illegal immigration because this has absolutely nothing to do with us. Let's be clear. And as a refresher, I do want to go to ground zero right now to see exactly what's going on in Minnesota. If you're not aware, the protesters and they're clashing in the streets of Minnesota, many of which these protesters, and I stand on this, are paid protesters to be out there doing what they're doing. So without further ado, let's get a recap of what's actually going on by way of CBS Morning News in Minnesota.
All right, let's jump over to Minnesota now. There's been unrest there over immigration operations by the administration. You're looking at CBS News correspondent Ian Lee, who is in St. Paul. Ian, good morning to you. What have you been seeing there recently?
Good morning, Errol. We've seen protests here on a daily basis. Despite that, with a federal judge ruling on Friday that agents cannot arrest, detain, or use chemical irritants on people who are, quote, gathering peacefully and protesting in an unobstructive way. But with these immigration raids ongoing and that looming threat of a U.S. military deployment, people here are on edge.
ICE out now!
U.S. postal workers were among those marching to protest federal immigration officers Sunday.
We are fighting. We are resisting. We don't think this is right, and we are standing up to say no.
A day earlier, we were there as anti and pro-ICE demonstrators clashed in the streets, including far-right organizer Jake Lang, a pardoned January 6th defendant.
Why are you out here?
All right. Now we see this dude right here, Jake Lang. And it's starting to give me a little trouble, so I'm going to take that down. But this dude right here, Jake Lang, he was out there. He's a paid agitator. He was out there with the whole Carmelo Anthony situation. If you remember, Carmelo Anthony was the young boy that stabbed the other young boy at a tracking meet last summer, I believe. And he was a young black man, 17 years old, young black boy, at a high school track meet and stabbed Austin Metcalf. And Jake Lang was a part of that whole deal, out there acting like he was pro-white when he's really Jewish, So a lot of these people are pro, that they're supposed to be on either side, paid agitators to try to rev up the people. So we have to keep that in mind when you start to see these familiar faces over and over again. But you rarely see any FBAs. They want black people to get involved because they know when we get involved, they have the whole world paying attention to this. So we have to be very careful of these characters and the tricks that they're trying to play to get us into something that we have absolutely nothing to do with. So that was just a quick little recap of what's going on over there in Minnesota. I'm pretty sure we all are aware, but I also want to give this little clip right here because the ICE agents are actually out here to arrest illegal immigrants that have been committing heinous crimes. A lot of them are involved in crimes that involve children. So this is a clip of an ICE agent that was being filmed, and he's trying to explain to the people that, hey, we trying to get a child offender off the streets and y'all blocking our vehicle. So why don't people over there protesting? This is exactly what's going on. I want to blow this up. Hold on, give me a second to really get the screen right so you can hear what he had to say and as he voices his frustration.
So you're reporting, we're here to arrest a child sex offender. And you guys are out here honking.
Oh, we're not. No, we're pressing. No, we're not.
That vehicle right there is honking and impeding our investigations while we're trying to arrest a child sex offender. That's who you guys are protecting. Insane.
Now that's an ICE agent that's trying to get by, that people are stopping these people and impeding on their investigation while they trying to get a child predator off the street. Let's run that back one more time.
So you're reporting, we're here to arrest a child sex offender. And you guys are out here honking.
Oh, we're not. No, we're pressing. No, we're not.
That vehicle right there is honking and impeding our investigations while we're trying to arrest a child sex offender. That's who you guys are protecting. Insane.
I mean, it just hit a little different when you hear that, and that's why a lot of people are not getting involved in this, because they are actually getting people off the street that have committed heinous crimes, even against children in a lot of cases. So why would people be going up against ICE when they're trying to get people off the street that a endangerment to society, even small children, right? So this is not our fight. Most black people, we're not going to get involved with that, but they went so far as to try to get somebody that's a fake, and I'm saying it, Black Panther, because I have people that are part of the Black Panther that are historically, I have, people that's on my social media that are active Black Panthers, and they don't move like this guy. They don't use the language that he's using, and they trying to pretty much stay low key. If you know the history of the Black Panther Party, it didn't have nothing to do about no white liberals or no illegal immigrants. It was all about the advancement of foundational Black Americans here in America. So once you know the history of the Black Panther Party, you cannot even begin to understand why somebody would be trying to advocate for illegal immigrants, and it's against the law. So with that being said, I want to bring up a video to give us a brief history. Well, not before we do that, let's bring up this dude. Let's bring up the current Black Panthers first. The fake Black Panthers, I say, and what this dude had to say. I think his name is Paul Birdsong. You know what I'm saying? Birdsong, straight spelling like a bird singing a song, right? And we're going to get some more insight on who this guy is too. But listen to this dude and how reckless he is talking. And I knew all back that this dude wasn't no Black Panther for real. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, listen to this nonsense this dude is saying.
Won't no ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't. I'll put a hole in their chest the size of a window. Safe line repair, safe line replace. That's what's going to happen. They touch me. Unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you're about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, fuck around and find out. Our interactions with the police and ICE, and we hold them accountable. We patrol the community and we hold them accountable. The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, we're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now, you dig? Carry bigger guns and we don't take no shit. Places where there are a lot of immigrants at, I think that the community around them needs to take special care to them and needs to start escorting them to and from everywhere to make sure that they're safe. Because them ICE agents ain't gonna act like that if it's a bunch of people standing outside with assault rifles and shotguns. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. That means them shotgun shells that shoot out of a pump, they shoot them rapidly. If you are going to legally arm yourself with something bigger than what they got. Those who serve in the public, they should be fearful of the public. They should be fearful that the public is going to be dissatisfied with their job that they're doing, not feeling like they're tyrants, not feeling like they're bullies because they got guns and body armor and walkie-talkies. That makes them immune to whatever the people would do. I think you want to correct the ideology of the pig and the mentality of the slave catcher. You meet them with equal force. All power to the motherfucking people. No power to the pig.
You see this? And this is what's going on in Minnesota in the dangerous rhetoric. Now you see these people, ain't a Black person in sight. But watch what this dude's saying. And this is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Y'all fighting for people that are illegally in the country, talk about taking up arms against the federal government.
They need to fucking show up with guns to face you guys. It's fucking time for an armed resistance against the United States of America.
Dangerous, right? But you don't see no Black people out there, right? If it is, if they few and far in between, because we're not stupid enough to be a part of anything like that going up against the federal government, because we already been there. We seen what the Black Panther Party been through. You know what I'm saying? So I instantly knew back when that guy was talking, oh nah, you fraudulent, homie, because the Black Panther Party trying to stay low key. And for a fact, I got, just for people that don't know, I got a brief history of the Black Panther Party, and I want to get off into that. You know what I'm saying? So people who may not be aware, or just may be a refresher to you, who were the Black Panthers and who are they today? Because you still got Black Panthers out here, but they definitely are not moving like this guy now, that Paul Bird song dude, or whatever his name is.
One of the most well-known civil rights organizations of the late 1960s was the Black Panther Party. Who started the Black Panther Party? What did the group advocate? In many northern and western cities in the United States, African Americans were living in urban ghettos with high unemployment rates and substandard housing. Many also believed that they were treated unfairly and in some cases even brutalized by police forces which did not represent them. For example, Oakland, California had 661 police officers, yet only 16 of those were African American. Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale had been involved in many different civil rights organizations in their young lives, including those who promoted the Black Power ideology. However, they were frustrated with the failure of these organizations to combat police brutality and other injustices they saw in their communities. In October of 1966, the two men formed the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, later simply known as the Black Panther Party. They organized armed patrols that would follow police officers, monitoring them for incidents of abuse. If the police attempted to confront them, Black Panther members would recite the state and federal laws which permitted them to carry their loaded weapons.
Okay, so that I want to point that right there, pinpoint that, because it's a lot of people don't know that if you do form some type of political organization, there are laws that do say that you can bear arms publicly. And that's what the Black Panthers were able to do. They were able to find loopholes in the Constitution where they were able to walk around with these weapons openly. So I don't know, if the Paul Bird song dude is using the same leeway, but most organizations, especially Black organizations that ever arose in America like that found the loopholes, they found a way to neutralize them by getting them infiltrated, and then eventually a lot of them are thrown in prison. And the ones that they can't throw in prison or whatever, they have them infiltrated and assassinated. And we've seen this over time. We know the history of the Black Panther Party. So for this guy, to come out here now and think that the Black Panthers is going to throw their weight behind illegal immigration, you're sadly mistaken.
The Black Panther Party first gained national attention after an incident in 1967. The group carried loaded firearms into the California State Assembly in protest of a piece of legislation which would make carrying loaded firearms illegal. 6 of the members were arrested for this incident. In May of 1967, the Black Panther Party issued a list of 10 points which stated their beliefs and values.
Watch, these 10 points ain't gonna have nothing to do with fighting against fighting for illegal immigration.
This list included things such as full employment, decent housing, and an end to police brutality. They also sought education for African Americans and justice within the court system. The group's ideals resonated within the Black community, and their numbers expanded rapidly. By 1968, the Black Panther Party had a presence in more than 20 major American cities, including New York City, Chicago, Boston, Dallas, Los Angeles, and Washington, D.C. Some estimates claim that their membership numbers were as high as 10,000 at its peak in 1969. The party also boasted an influential newspaper which was read by more than 250,000 people. Its editor was Eldridge Cleaver, and he became a persuasive voice within the Black Power movement. Cleaver would eventually become the third most prominent member of the Black Panther Party, behind Newton and Seale. The Black Panther Party also started community-friendly programs, such as the Free Breakfast for Children program. They believed that they could provide...
Now, this is what I really honor and respect about the Black Panther Party. They weren't just about self-defense, they also provided services for the community, free lunch for the breakfast and lunch for the children, self-defense classes for the children. They had a lot of different classes for young women, and they offered to, home health care for the working mothers and fathers and needed their children to be watched over. I mean, they did a lot for the community. So it was bigger than just walking down the street like this dude is with an assault rifle. The Black Panther Party had a lot more resources and things and this for the advancement of African American foundational Black Americans at a time where they were very disenfranchised. So it's kind of like a slap in the face when you see somebody that's out here cosplaying for like they down with the Black Panther Party, when they don't just let any and everybody be a part of the Black Panthers for the simple fact that they have been infiltrated, to the point where they are not out here in the capacity that they once were.
Provide for the needs of those in poverty better than the government could. It has been estimated that the Black Panther Party fed more than 20,000 children through this program during the 1968-1969 school year. The organization offered other services as well, including clothes distribution, classes on politics and economics, free medical care, and lessons on self-defense and first aid. They also set up an ambulance program and drug rehabilitation services. However, the Federal Bureau of Investigation did not agree with many of the organization's paramilitary activities, such as carrying loaded guns. The FBI regarded them as a Black nationalist hate group, and FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover even referred to them as the greatest threat to the internal security.
Now, this was the BS in the game, because how can you say that the Black Panther Party was a national hate group, but the KKK was never, treated as a hate group, federally, Yeah, I mean, we got to call a spade on that. The Black Panther Party was not going out here targeting white people, you know what I'm saying, or any other group of people to do them harm. They were on defense. They were protecting the native Black communities in America, but the KKK was never declared, still to this day, were never declared as a hate group, but the Black Panther Party was. That's a bunch of BS right there, but we're going to keep it pushing.
Security of the country. The group was targeted for investigation with the intent of weakening the group's power and damaging their credibility. The Black Panther Party continued to exist as an organization throughout the 1970s, but never regained the prestige they had once enjoyed. Over the course of that decade, their numbers dwindled away until, by 1980, only 27 people were still official members of the Black Panther Party.
All right. So we see that, man. That was a good breakdown, right? I really appreciate that. As you can see, man, the Black Panther Party was for real. They was out here. They weren't playing no games with it. And, for this dude to come out here in any capacity and make a mockery of it, it's just like, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you know the history, man, you automatically can see through the BS and try to gaslight Black people to get involved in something that don't have nothing to do with us, right? And I got this other commentary that I want to react to, and it is a channel by the name of Treehouse News, and she does an excellent job of breaking this down. And I want to bring this, video to a T by just reacting to her commentary on this. And we're gonna listen back at Buddy, that's trying to gaslight Black people, FBA people, to get involved, and see the reactions of a lot of Black people that are not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, so to speak. Right? So So let's get this together, man. Shout out to Treehouse News. And we're gonna go ahead and let this commentary play, and I'll chime in from time to time to add my 2 cents.
And oh boy, this video turned into a deep rabbit hole. I was just going to focus on this guy named, I think his name is Paul Birdsong, but I didn't know his name initially. I was going to just show like, okay, the Black Panther Party, dared ICE to come to Philly. ICE showed up and they didn't do nothing. But turn out this guy is a grifter. The whole Black Panther Party thing, he's not a real member. And oh my God, let me just tell you what's going to be involved in this video. And it's going to be a good one, okay? So he's going to threaten ICE. ICE shows up and he walks it back. Then black folks call him out. Then the real members of the Black Panther Party tell him to stop. You are a phony. You are a grifter. And then all of a sudden we have some black folks who expose him. He was a rapper. He was a member of the Hebrew Israelites. I'm not making this up, by the way. And this guy has been trying.
Man, they say this guy was a rapper, a part of the Hebrew Israelites, and he also was allegedly a part of the Pyru Bloods or something like that. Like this dude, he got that infiltration energy. Y'all, it's like you could see through him. Like to me, I looked through him like a chandelier. As soon as I seen them, I instantly, within 5 seconds, knew it was something to this dude. But let's continue.
Trying to be famous, and now he's in hiding. So anyway, this is going to be probably a long video, but I promise you it's worth the wait. So let's get into the video that started all of this from the beginning. So this video was on his original TikTok. He deleted it due to a lot of backlash.
Wow, see, I didn't even know he deleted this. And that's what a lot of them do. They come out here, they blow all this smoke, and then when they get the attention that they was looking for, and it ain't the reaction they wanted, then they want to delete the content like people ain't already the screen recorded it.
Also, he was contacted by some lawyers saying, boy, you better get ready because they coming for you. And yeah, it gets really good after this. So this is the video that started it all.
Won't no ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't. I'll put a hole in their chest the size of a window. Safe line repair, safe line replace. That's what's going to happen. They touch me. Unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you're about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, come around and find out. Our interactions with the police and ICE, and we hold them accountable. We hold them accountable. We patrol the community and we hold them accountable. The Black Panther Party for self-defense.
My thing with a lot of these people, and I hate to keep pausing this, is y'all patrol the community. You say you out of Philadelphia. Where are y'all when a lot of this stuff goes down within the Black community, as far as, these young YNs out here committing the heinous crimes that they committing with these extendos and all this, and all these black on black shootings with the youth? Like, why y'all ain't? Why don't you have any other circle? Why don't we have a history of you putting in work in your own community? Nowadays, you got to prove yourself with a history of your work. You can't just come out here out the blue and say that you a Black Panther and this what y'all standing on business when you don't have no type of resume to substantiate that. We don't know you, dude. You coming out here blowing all this smoke, but you don't have a resume behind you. What kind of, you got buttons with the Black Panther Party and all this, but it look cute. But what have you done for your own community to be out here saying all of a sudden we standing on business because a liberal white woman that was impeding on an ICE investigation, rest in peace to her, but that was stupid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be honest, that was stupid. I don't wish death on nobody, but she shouldn't have been out there to begin with. I mean, now you come out the shadows, and now you want to be all boisterous. But let's continue.
We're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now. You dig? Carry bigger guns, and we don't take no shit. Places where there are a lot of immigrants at, I think that the community around them needs to take special care to them, and it needs to start escorting them to and from everywhere to make sure that they're safe. Because them ICE agents ain't gonna act like that if it's a bunch of people standing outside with assault rifles and shotguns. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. That means some shotgun shells that shoot out of a pump, they shoot them rapidly. If you are gonna legally arm yourself with something bigger than what they got. Those who serve in the public, they should be fearful of the public. They should be fearful that the public is going to be dissatisfied with their job that they're doing, not feeling like they're tyrants, not feeling like they're bullies because they got guns and body armor and walkie-talkies. That makes them immune to whatever the people would do. I think you want to correct the ideology of the pig and the mentality of the slave catcher. You meet them with equal force. All power to the people. No power to the pig.
So as you can see, that video was him just popping off at the chest. But guess what? I showed up. I showed up in Philadelphia.
Now this is crazy. All that smoke he blowing, and then ICE pulled up in Philadelphia, and they ain't do nothing. Are you not entertained? Are you not surprised that they ain't do nothing? They was nowhere to be found when ICE pulled up in Philadelphia in their backyard.
ICE was like, "Oh, here we are." So you have the DHS police, I do believe. So you have the federal police, you have Homeland Security, you also have ICE, and oh my God, I forgot what this guy. This is the leader of them. I'm so sorry for getting his name. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really doing this video like at 5 o'clock in the morning. But let me show you how deep they were rolling, because they were not playing. They were like, yeah, we in Philly, now what? What y'all gonna do? And nothing happened. Nobody was like, oh, you're going to call.
Are you researching dental implants?
There's a lot of dental offices that'll talk about doing their teeth in the day process. A lot of times what they mean is they'll do the surgery and give you some sort of teeth the next day.
Yeah, see, this is the DHS police. I was like, so all of these are the feds. So you got the feds, and then you got ICE. And I'm like, wow, this is and they're in Philadelphia right now. Nothing's going down. Nothing's happening. Here we go with another white woman. I am white. Hear me. Anyway, I could play this all day, but let me just tell you, nothing happened because this guy is in his neighborhood where there are no immigrants. So why would ICE be there? You know what I'm saying? I think he says he's in East Philly. They were in some townhomes area. And I was like, why would ICE be over there? I mean, that doesn't look like a lot of places that Somalians and Haitians or any illegal immigrant would basically be at. But anyway, so he got a little scared because he was informed that you made some threats. You're about to get a visit from the feds. And now he gets back on TikTok and walk everything back like a coward.
All power to the people. Chairman Paul Burton from the Black Panther Party. Important for active community defense duty. Listen, I want you to pay attention to the propaganda. So that video going around about me saying, hey, if an ICE agent run up on me, you know, that ain't what happened. If you look at the video, you see I'm talking, and then he cuts to another scene, you know, instead of showing me talking straight through, because it was chopped and spliced. So what I said was, if an ICE agent run up on me, whatever force they use against me, I'm gonna use equal force.
Hey, this is a lie. You can rewind the video. It was straight through. He was not spliced at all.
And myself, ain't nobody taking me nowhere or doing nothing to me. Then after that, I said, anybody runs up on me, anybody tries to do anything to me, I put a hole in them the size of a window. Safe light repair, safe light replace, because I ain't nobody's victim. Now, I meant everything that I said, but the way they put it together, it sounds like I'm just making a threat, you know what I'm saying, to ICE, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if the dude knew what he was doing necessarily, like he was purposely trying to make it seem like I said something like that, or if he was like, you know, he was just putting it together because he thought it sounded good, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that goes for anybody though. You know, anybody that means harm towards any black man, woman, or child, anybody that means harm towards me, I'm gonna shoot you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm not specifically threatening anybody, but I will say about ICE, I was born here on this continent, and my dad and his dad and his dad and his
This
dad.
right here is false. He's lying. Dude, let me tell you something. Black folks have went in and did some digging and find the whole thing to be entertaining because it was in fact members of the FBA who did some digging into this guy, and oh, it's not looking good for him. I promise you. He picked the wrong organization to grift on, the Black Panthers. Maybe he could have got away with this with the Hebrew Israelites. He should have stayed there. But going into the Black Panthers, yeah, this was a big mistake.
And my mom and her mom and their mom and her mom. So my people from this continent, right? So if somebody run up on me trying to take me somewhere else, I am going to shoot them. The reason being, because I have the right to defend myself, and there's nobody who can legally deport me to somewhere else that I wasn't born.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like, he trying to go ahead and backtrack, but at the same time, save face. You said what you said when you was out there. Now that you getting the backlash from it, now you trying to go ahead and, you know, still try to appear tough, but still try to say things to make it seem as though it wasn't what it was. We heard you the first time, bro, and this how you know. You know what I'm saying? These people, they go viral when you was out here clout chasing. Now you got the clout. Now when you get the clout, you know you got to try to backtrack. And this is what I'm saying, man. That's why I've been encouraging everybody, but especially black people, to not get involved. Black America, leave this situation with what ICE got going on, ain't got nothing to do with you. These clowns out here trying to, you know, bait you into a situation. And you know the temperature in America right now with the racial tension and what they're trying to the narrative that they're trying to perpetuate. Just ask yourself, why are these people so dead set on getting you to cap for illegal immigration? Immigration laws that's been on the books since the beginning of time, and all they gonna do is put them in your community, right? They brought them over here to replace you politically and economically. They put them in your community, give them the resources that you supposed to have access to, and then ask you to cap for them. They playing in your face and basically insulting you, and then use your history in America through the Black Panthers and things like that to try to bait you in, like just on an emotional level. They try to bait you in to cap for these people. When hey, it's like, hey, I'm not trying to say that I'm going to be out here, you know, against the illegal immigrants. So, you know, but I'm not going to be out here capping for them at the same time.
Or that, you know what I'm saying? I'm a citizen of this continent, right? And my people were citizens of this continent before the colonizers came over here.
Okay, that's not true. That's not true. We're gonna debunk all of this. Okay, he's just popping off at the mouth.
So you're not gonna ship me nowhere. So at that point, you would be trying to kidnap me, right? And I will kill anybody who tries to kidnap me. I don't care what you call yourself. So, you know, however you want to take it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell everybody out there: if somebody tries to kidnap you, shoot them. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you get legally arrested for something you did, I can't really say nothing. You know, if you went to a country, no matter what country you were in illegally, and they find out and they deport you, that's on you. But if somebody literally illegally tries to grab you and take you somewhere, that's kidnapping. You ain't gotta let nobody kidnap you. You better lay their ass out. More power to the people.
So now he's changing his tune, because at first he was like, yo, we're here for the immigrants. We're here, you know, for that lady, you know, the white lesbian that got shot in the face. So now it's all about, oh, well, I'm not here for the illegals, but I'm here to fight ICE. Fool, what you think ICE is doing? Anywho, let's look at some video response to this mess because I promise you, this is when it really gets good.
I don't know who the hell these people are in this picture, but this is not the Black Panther Party. This is some sort of alternative COINTELPRO style Captain Save-A-Ho Black immigrant Panther Party, but it's not the Black Panther Party. I'm not even really sure why they're even using that as their name. I don't know where this dude came from. He's talking about how we fight for all oppressed groups. It just seemed like they just kind of popped up out of nowhere and decided to use the Black Panther Party, which I find very, very ironic. I mean, like, given like the delineation and all of that has been discussed over these last several months, I just find that to be very interesting that they decided to pop up out of nowhere with that name, and their plight has absolutely nothing to do with Black people, but yet they're calling themselves the new Black Panther Party. There's a very obvious collective effort to drag Black American people specifically into the fight to help illegal immigrants stay in the country. It's pretty obvious at this point that this is an actual thing. Like, they actually want us to fight on behalf of illegal immigrants, not just of immigrants, illegal immigrants. Like, this almost kind of feels like a PR move that nobody asked for, nobody wanted, on behalf of Black America, to say, no, guys, look, no, we're in support of illegal immigration, guys. Like, with the Black Panther movement, we fight for all oppressed peoples all around the world. Just ignore this whole delineation thing. See, we fight for everybody. Like, well, what the hell is that? What is this about? We didn't ask for no PR. We didn't ask for nobody to come in to step in and play Captain Save-A-Ho and put our name on it. Nobody asked for that. So where the hell did y'all come from? Where do you just dropped out of Never Never Land? Like, what the hell is going on? I'm really truly confused. I would like to have more information on what the hell is really going on with this.
I'm about to show you something. So America is so desperate for us to get involved in this ICE fight that they presented a Black Panther group. Yeah, I'm about to show you the Black Panther group, okay, that they presented. That's supposed to.
So you regret buying Bitcoin when, in fact, you could have gotten in on the next Solana for 50.
And on behalf of the Black Panther Party, well, this cop is a good cop and this cop is a good cop. Once they to the slave catcher patrol, and I take it, they call the police officers now, but their name is slave catcher patrol. That's what they is. That's what they always have been. Every Black officer out there, shame on you. You know how the Black police officer came into fruition?
Ma'am, who are these people? Now, before I get into it, I appreciate anybody who is trying to stand up for justice, okay? Whether they are pink, red, green, whatever, right? However, what the is this? Now, this is the most multicultural, this looks like the United Nations. And not only that, like, sis with the like striped dress, like, who is she running after? Like, who is she trying to fight? Like, how's she gonna fight in a dress? And then she had a little bow tie, her little tie on, her little ribbon. It just, I don't know what, I'm confused. I'm confused. This is not the Black Panther Party. This is more like the multicultural party. I don't know what's going on here. They are so desperate to try to get us involved that they're trying to put a makeshift group together and then put them out there. Because first of all, how is this even getting pressed? Like, what have they even done to stop ICE? Like, I don't even know what's going on with this.
This is what I'm talking about, bro. Y'all be pissing me off. What, y'all gonna try to revive the Black Panthers to protest against immigration enforcement? Why don't y'all go stop the organizations that unalive more Black people than anybody in the world? Bloods, Crips, GD, Vice Lords. They've unalived more Black people than the KKK have ever unalived, bro. We do more damage to each other than anyone else. And you guys are trying to deflect from that every day. You're in Philadelphia marching against ICE. Meanwhile, they got school bus with no seats, a whole row of seats missing, little kids, little black kids sitting on the ground, driving them to school. These kids' lives were in danger every time they took this trip. This should have never been why y'all not out there talking about this, protesting this? Bro, let them people at ICE do their fucking job, bro. I'm sorry, bro. They not looking for y'all, bro. Why y'all want to be involved so bad, bro?
After doing my research, that black man, whoever he is, who appears to be Black American, is not Black American, who's out there in Minnesota pretended to be a part of the Black Panther. He's not of the Black Panther movement. Let's get that out of the way. What he's trying to do is make it seem like Black Americans are involved in going against ICE, and when we're not, we're sitting back eating our popcorn and mind our Black American business. What he's trying to do is create martial law. Okay, that is a ploy for him to make it seem like Black Americans are involved in going against ICE so that there could be a civil war or something. But no, we're not involved in that. We're eating our popcorn. We're minding our business. This needs to go viral because Black Americans are not involved in disrespecting the ICE law enforcement. We're not, because we're minding our business.
And I'm happy she said that, you know, and I'm willing to really let this video rock out so you can hear the reaction. And I'm so proud of the foundational Black American community staying out the way, because so many times they have gaslit us to be involved in things that don't have nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? And they bunch all these other groups of, you know, demographics of people with the Black foundational Black American struggle in America when it don't have nothing to do with us. So they just use us for our, you know, for our voice. You know, they use us for our struggle, what our ancestors, you know, fought and died for in this country. And, you know, we're not going to be out here caping for people that's breaking our immigration laws. Y'all got to come in the right way. What about the people that went through the proper process to becoming an American citizen? Y'all skipping the line for them. And you notice the video I showed earlier with the ICE agent, more than likely he was of Hispanic or Latino descent. You know what I'm saying? It's like 40 to 50% of ICE agents are Hispanic. They don't rock with this either. You know what I'm saying? Latin Americans don't rock with illegal immigration either, because they put them in the Black and brown communities and they take the resources, you know. And it's okay if you come in the right way, but if you don't, you know, and then you expect us to go out here and cape for people that are essentially our replacement. Nah, we got us. I mean, we're not slow, and I'm so happy so many are being vocalizing their disengagement from this tyranny, because that's what it is. It's treasonous at this point.
Business. For far too long, these people came to our country, talked bad about us, and if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be here. They came here on our amendment, disrespecting us. This needed to happen. Trump.
My wife said, if you win, we'll fly to Asia. If I win, we'll fly to Paris. I bet you won't get toned with.
There was this video, and shout out to Sister Demetra for sharing this video with me, of this so-called Black Panther out there. I think he's in the Philadelphia area. And when I heard this video and heard exactly the wording this man was saying, something just went off in my spirit about this. And I want y'all to hear exactly what this guy is saying. I want y'all to hear this word for word. I want you to look at him too at the same time. I want you to look at him. And we got a lot of questions about this gentleman here, this so-called Black Panther. So let's go ahead on and check this out. The first time I watched this video, I was like, first of all, who is this guy? Number one. Number two, in my spirit, I didn't feel like, yeah, man, that brother, you know, he really speaking about this, or he really standing on business. I didn't get none of that from him. You know what I was getting from him? William O'Neill vibes. If you remember, William O'Neill is the guy that was sent in to the Black Panther Party to help set up the assassination of Fred Hampton. That's what I get from this guy.
So now we got tethers faking being Black Panthers. We have tethers pretending to be Black Panthers, right? Right. So we know Black Panthers is gone for Black folks, right? FBA, we are no longer a part of whatever they go. Because if we say we Black Panthers, they already saying FBA a hate group. So if we say, okay, we the new Black Panthers, we're gonna be a terrorist group. You know, male Native militias get to run around. So we should probably call ourselves a militia now instead of Black Panthers, because tethers are taking over Black Panthers and anything Black for real. Now everybody Black. All them I know Blacks are Black now. So we're gonna have to come up with a new name for our so-called militia, because it can't be Black Panthers, because tethers have infiltrated that.
Good morning, everyone. So I see that the new Black Panther Party is saying they're going to be involved in this situation going on, with ICE, and they're going to defend the illegal aliens, and they're going to defend people. But I got a question. I was Chicago was once a stronghold for the Panther Party. Why aren't you on the red, blue, and green lines helping out? Because people are being assaulted on there, murdered, set on fire, robbed, beaten, often in Chicago. You can go help out with that. What about all these working class people that can't have a Kia, a Hyundai, or any type of fast Mopar? Because you got the little YNs and ski masks with still in their cars around with switches. Where are you? Where are you? But now this is your final straw, huh? This is the heel. This is the heel now for the new Black Panther Party. Choke.
Now, I've been seeing a lot of people takes on the guy that's a Black Panther. They're talking about we need to do something to ICE and all the other stuff because what happened to that white woman. But we ain't falling for it. And you know who this guy remind me of? That dude by the name of Grandmaster Jay. Now, if y'all don't remember Grandmaster Jay,
the whole 9 yards, and then become the backbone for the military for a new Black nation.
What is the solution to all of this? And that's the last
The solution is very simple. We file a Declaration of Liberation, declaring every African American descendant of slavery a political prisoner here in the United States that was affected by the Portuguese slave trade. And then after that, the United States has a choice. Either A, carve us a piece of land out here, we'll take Texas and let us do our own thing, or don't stop us when we exodus out of here and go somewhere where they will give us our own land to build our own nation.
What is your name and what is the...
I'm the official Grandmaster Jay. I created the NFAC.
All right, and how long have the organization been in existence?
We don't give that information out. Just how we'll tell you this, we're all ex-military. We're all very disciplined. We're all expert shooters. We don't want to talk no more. We don't want to negotiate. We don't want to sing songs. We don't bring signs to a gunfight. We're an eye for an eye organization. So when they decide to act right, we'll decide to act right. And we do.
he was the guy that had this quote unquote militia called NFAC. NFAC stand for Not Around Coalition.
Man, I remember this guy. You know what I'm saying? Grandmaster Jay, Not Effing Around Coalition. And he just had this same type of energy that this new guy got with the new Black Panther Party, just popping off at the mouth, and that's just not how they move right about now. You know what I'm saying? All this popping off, and he ended up, he had that whole infiltration spirit about him. Like, who are you? Where did you come from? And he never wanted to really clarify that. And I think he's doing time right now, but he was walking around with the assault rifles the same way. I don't think he was, calling himself a Black Panther, but he had that same type of energy though. And it seemed like a setup for trying to get Black people involved in some stuff. Less is more. You know what I'm saying? When you go out here and you popping off and you blowing all this smoke, we not really, we trying to understand where you coming from, who are you? And now, this was probably about 10 or 12 years ago with this dude, and I think he's supposed to be doing Fed time, allegedly. But, here we are now again, whenever there's a situation, now it's illegal immigration, y'all want to use foundational Black Americans to push y'all narrative.
Now, y'all probably remember around the time Breonna Taylor got unalive, God rest her soul. Shout out to her, man. Shout out to her family. But they came out with a militia time. They were going to do some things to some white folks and some police and stuff like that. When I first saw it, I was like, it don't sound right to me. It just really don't. And during that time, I was around some black organizations that was believing this shit. I'm like, hold on now. Y'all understand COINTELPRO. Y'all read all the books on how the Black Panthers got dismantled. Y'all read all the books about how Malcolm X got infiltrated. And y'all believe this dude got on national TV and talking about he was going to do with the police and nothing ain't happened to him during that time. Then it was so crazy. I remember they were joining the movement to Kentucky. They were having like a big protest out there in Kentucky. So they invited all the around the world that can carry guns legally to come out there and protest with them. Peep game. Some majority of the people that was out there had to fill out an application form. And they had to put the type of gun they have and the serial number on the sheet.
Why they need all that information for? You got to put the type of weapon you got and the serial number, and all of a sudden y'all get hit with federal cases. Are y'all starting to understand what I'm saying? Watch out for these fake organizations. They want all your information. Next thing you know, you in some type of federal indictment with these clowns that run their mouth too much.
On the application. That didn't ring a bell. I'm telling my partner, I'm like, why you gonna put your serial number down for? Why you need all that for? And it's just a protest. Turns out, dude was a Fed. I believe he was a Fed. People say, well, he's in jail. Well, why we haven't heard from him? He ain't send no words of encouragement to the people. Nobody in his family said something he doing all right.
Just disappeared in the thin air, rounded up all these black people. To me, it sounds like to put they gun rights basically in a limbo and get them incarcerated. They want to know who black in America they got they gun rights. All right, we finna find a way to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, strip them of that, and we're gonna use a black face to do it. That's a game recognized game, and y'all gonna catch up on Voices for the Voiceless.
Then, in case in point, that dude named Oso in Orlando that unalived that police officer a couple years. I think his name is Oso or something. He unalived a police officer a couple years ago. Well, when he was on the run, he ran to one of the compounds of Infect, and somebody told him, leaked the information, told him where he was. But keep in mind that dude Grandmaster Jay was a Fed anyway. He was an undercover agent anyway. So he probably already told, he probably ran over here. He over there somewhere. Or he probably contacted somebody that run that compound or that land where they found Oso with that unalived that police officer. Tell you, man. So I'm happy black people ain't falling for this fake Black Panther dude. It was funny when I first saw it, but I had to listen to different takes of people because I was trying to make sure, like, I hope these ain't finna fall for this Black Panther guy like they fell for this other dude, Grandmaster Jay. But anyway, y'all be safe and y'all have a good one.
Make the Black Panthers. Okay, let's just start there. Those are a bunch of Antifa dressed like the Black Panther. Listen, I just need people to understand, like, a lot of us Black Americans, we just really just want to be left alone. We want to just be considered as Americans. We want to live our lives in peace. We want to just be able to enjoy the freedoms that we have. The way that these people are trying to bring out Black Americans to join this fight, even if the fight is not beneficial to the growth of the community, needs to be studied. Because that lets you know that they see that their plan did not work to replace you. If Kamala would have won, you would have been replaced. But because it did not work.
Now, she just said that. If Kamala Harris would have won, her running mate was Tim Walz. And I believe Tim Walz was picked due to the fact that he was able to raise so much money in Minnesota. He the governor of Minnesota. Now, we see that Minnesota is under fire because they have raised No, I mean, not raised, but they have been alleged to have stolen upwards of $9 to $20 billion in fraud. And also, yeah, he did raise as much money for Kamala Harris than any other running mate. She knew what was going on. How could she not? Tim Walz, how you don't know billions of dollars are being defrauded out of your state? And you the governor, you got to sign off on a lot of these operations and organizations. So, like she said, man, and I don't want to get too far from that because I'm gonna do a separate video for that, and we well in some time here, and I don't want to hold y'all too long. I want the sister to finish what she's saying though.
Work. How they want to play on your emotion. They want to trigger you. They're using every single tactic possible to get you riled up, to reel you back in, because they realize that they are in a losing battle. They could try all damn day to try to fight what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, the man that we wanted, that America spoke for, is in office, doing what we voted for. What I'm saying is don't take the bait. At the same time, ask yourself this very valuable question. You ready? Where's all the water hoses at? Where's all the dogs? Where's the violence that happened?
Thank you. All these protests that's going on, right, with these illegal immigration, and in comparison to what our ancestors was fighting for, they fighting to break the law through illegal immigration. We were fighting for our civil rights as American citizens. We were fighting for the right to vote, the right to, whatever. And these were rights that were owed to us. We fought in every war in this nation. From the civil rights to the Civil War, to the Vietnam War, the World War I, World War II, you name it. We were involved in every war in this nation. So why don't we have civil rights? Why don't we? But we had dogs and water holes sicked on us. But these people get over here, they ain't put in no work, but they able to be out here protesting against our government and being met with kitty gloves. They ain't did nothing to these people. One white woman, liberal white woman, and rest in peace once again, she got shot and unalive because she was impeding on law enforcement investigations. And everybody up in the uproar. And they want to tear the country up over that. But we sat up here and went to war for our civil rights to be able to exist as human beings. Black people, man, stay out the way. I'm glad you out the way. Stay out the way. Don't let them bait you in with this clown. Talk about he a Black Panther.
And when your ancestors was out there fighting for civil rights, they were old. Nobody owe these people a damn thing. America been giving them everything that they needed since they brought their illegal asses over here. They give them more than they gave you. You're necessary so they could stay in power. You don't gotta like me because I'm a conservative. You don't gotta listen to me. You could call me every Uncle Tom. You could call me whatever you want. You can't call me blind because I could see. God gave me these big, beautiful eyes for a reason. And if you ain't using yours to see what's really going on, you just meet for the lions. I said it once and I'll say it again. The spell is broken. And they know it. Stay dangerous.
I'm about to reveal a snoring fix that most women over 40 don't know. This is what your throat looks like when you're snoring.
General Mike Payne. Now that was powerful enough, right? But she really laid it out. I can end the video right there, but we're gonna go overtime because we got an active member of the real Black Panther Party of today. He's still an active member, and he finna go ahead and let you know how the Black Panthers, the real Black Panthers, feel about this situation.
National leader of the original Black Panther Party here. We have received many emails from people asking what is our official stance on the ICE situation. I need you all to listen and understand what I'm telling you. We, the original Black Panther Party, in good conscience cannot risk life and limb of our people for groups of people who have not risked life and limb for us. Just because we have a common enemy, that does not equate to us having a common problem. If this was so, now listen to me. If we had a common problem and enemy, where were the immigrants or even the Black immigrants as a whole when Breonna Taylor, Tyree Nichols, Trayvon Martin, Rollin Hill, Ahmaud Arbery, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, where were you at when our people are murdered in the streets, slaughtered in cold blood by an agency that now hunts you? But now that injustice has touched your door, we have something in common. The Black agenda must come first. We are still working on in-house unification. We cannot afford to divide our ranks to help individuals who have not been reciprocatory. Black citizens, we are not the target. Sure, like anything else, a few Black citizens get stopped, hassled, and ID'd. That's been happening to us for 400 plus years. The difference now is we aren't who they're looking for. We don't mean this in a harsh way to any community that migrated here and are targets of ICE. But legal or illegally, this has been our experience since our shackled feet touched the Virginia soil. Welcome to America.
So that was an official member of an official Black Panther organization. And speaking of that, we have a member of the Black Panther organization out of San Diego chapter, and this is Robert Ward Williams.
All right. So we got Black Panthers. She about to go off into all type of, different reactions. And we've been here long enough, man. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to extend it because I feel very passionate about this, obviously, because I am a foundational Black American. I'm not a Black Panther, but you know what I'm saying? I am someone that, appreciate the efforts of the Black Panther Party that they put in to protect Black Americans from, dangers and gave back to the community. It was a real, hey, you could disagree here and there or whatever, but overall, I think that their intentions were good and it was felt by the community. But when you have somebody out here faking and fraudulent, man, we can't have our people out here being disillusioned by the efforts of somebody that may be an infiltrator, right? But in any event, I feel like this don't have, like I said from the beginning, this don't have nothing to do with us. And we got to make sure that we stamp that and be on point with our reaction to anybody that, try to rile up any. Now, we have empathy for immigrants, but you got to be legal. We have empathy for other groups of people, but we're not here to enforce or stand behind people that are breaking our immigration laws. We helped build this nation. This is our nation. So we have to respect the laws and the land. You know what I'm saying? Without that, we have a lawless nation. But hey, what say you? It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. We love y'all. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Peace and blessings.